Hey there guys, EctoMaster here, and welcome to a brand new series. A series that I am calling the Overwatch Lookouts. Whether or not B sticks around, well, it's obvious what it is about, isn't it? It's about Overwatch. So this is going to be a weekly series where I talk about Overwatch, all the things that it's about, any news, any updates, that kind of thing. Consider this the Heroes of the Update version of Overwatch. So this is going to be every Wednesday. I'm going to talk about Overwatch. It's going to be news, like I said, as well as opinions. So I'll have that thrown up there as well. Now, the video that you were watching at this point is basically the videos that I've already got up. I'm just going to randomly move them around and maybe cut and edit and do all sorts of things with it. Just because I don't have any more footage than this. I would rather use my own footage than somebody else's, because I worked for this and I want to use what I worked for, not somebody else's. That's not fair to them and things like that. Anyways, so we may see some of the same stuff over and over again. Now, if I get back into the beta, which is currently on hiatus, well, if I get back into the beta, there will be new stuff because I'll just record, I don't know, half an hour or so of me playing and just use that. So yeah. Anyways, so this inaugural episode, we're going to talk about 3 topics. We're going to talk about the progression system, the business model, and my launch day hopes for this game. So again, going into a little bit of the opinion on it. So, without further ado, and yes, I did say that wrong on purpose, let's talk about the progression system. Now, Kaplan did have an interview. I'm trying to fight my allergies as well, so pardon me if I cough during this or anything. I'm trying to fight my allergies, and I was taking a drink there. And I paused a little too long. Anyways, Jeff Kaplan had an interview and talked about the progression systems in Overwatch. Now, apparently, before it went into beta, there was actually 2 progression systems prior to that. Now, some of them in pre-alphas and Gamescom and GamerCon or wherever else. I think it was just Gamescom. May have seen this, or at BlizzCon in 2014, they may have seen the progression system. But the first one was a kind of like the WoW talent system. In that, it was basically, you would level up and you would get a different ability, that would change how the hero was played. Again, just like WoW. Examples are Reaper had a talent which would fully heal him when he entered Wraith form, and a talent that would let his shotgun shoot twice the distance. But unlike other games like Heroes of the Storm, you need to be thinking about every hero in each match rather than just the ones you see at the start of the game. Again, a valid point, as you can change your hero mid-game. And it's very important to kind of learn to do that as well, because, and we'll get into this again in a little bit, it's just important to know your heroes and how they function and that type of thing. The heroes themselves function rather simply. Nothing is overly complicated, but a good player, you don't want to overcomplicate the hero, because then it just becomes a problem. So they said, due to the fast-paced nature of the game, and needing to know each hero, having a couple of different builds for each hero felt overwhelming. So the player power from a progression system was not good for the competitive nature of Overwatch. I almost said WoW, don't ask why. But the system was scrapped, and for good reason. Again, totally with it. It just doesn't make sense. If you're having to put a build together for a character, you would have to put the build together. The build would have to be, again, we're almost going the WoW route, where you have the hero, the build is already saved, and you log in, boom, and the build is there. So it's good to have, it was good that they did away with this. So they started a second progression system. And it wasn't player power based, and it was all cosmetic rewards. So skins, maybe a different look to your powers, that kind of thing. And each hero had a level associated with them, the more you played matches with that hero, the more experience you gained with it. Of course, just like Heroes of the Storm, if you won, you got more XP than you lost. And then if you lost. But as a hero leveled up, you unlock more and more cosmetics, which is great. Again, like Heroes of the Storm, as you level up, you start unlocking the different alternate styles. The hero level cap was 20. But the problem came down that testers were hesitant to switch heroes. Mainly because if they were close to unlocking something, they didn't want to stop. They wanted to be able to unlock that final item, whatever it may be. And again, that's not the nature of the game. Even in the ones where I tend to stick around with one for far too long, there are times that obviously I switch multiple times. Hanamura, I tend to jump over to Bastion if I'm defending, and we lose the first point. Sometimes I'll switch over to Diva if I don't think DPS is working. Or I'll switch to another tank. Or I'll switch to a healer if we're doing that, or a different DPS. Just to try and get that edge. And that's all it is. Or, hey, you have Bastion. Here, perfect example. Bastion is defending in Hanamura, blowing everybody to pieces. You have to get in that corner to stop him. That's where he is. Right by the bell, he's in the corner. You can't get through his shield. Well, what do? Well, you switch to Tracer, and Tracer can time jump to the corner, and boom, take him out. Pharah can jump up over his thing, fire down at him, boom, he's taken out. But you have to change into that hero. You can't just go, hey, well, you know, maybe we'll get one. No, you as the player, make that change. You die, make the change, go out and do it. That is what the game is about, is changing on the spot to suit your needs. Now, that being said, that progression system did not work. But they did end up with lots of different cosmetic rewards from the system. So, what are they going to do with it? Well, basically the future progression, Tom Chilton, director of World of Warcraft, said to Capcom that if your game isn't about progression, then don't focus on it. Don't overly focus on it. And everybody agreed. So right now the idea is light, cosmetic, and thanking you for your time in it. The main motivation for playing should be that the game is fun, not that you gain more power, and that they're using this hiatus time to work on progression. And once the new system is done, then the beta will be back. So this was all done, like announced back in December 16th. So, and they said it was going to be a month to a month and a half. So we're looking at maybe, hopefully, either next week or the week after. If not, then it'll be like the week after that. So hopefully the beta's coming back very soon. As the launch is for spring of 2016, so we're looking March, April, May, or June for release. So here's hoping. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the business model that they were talking about. And the business model is very interesting, and I like the idea where it's going. And it again was announced just a few weeks ago. Basically, the business model is going to be that the base game is $40 for PC, $60 for console, and it will be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And they did say that they will have their own ecosystem. So on PC, your friends list will be populated by your Battle.net account list. On Xbox One, it'll be the Xbox Live Network. On PS4, your friends will be derived from the PlayStation Network. And unfortunately, the three do not overlap and are completely separate. So, that being said, your progression and all the accounts and whatnot, they are separate. So, once this progression system goes out, say, we'll just use the level system. You're level 5 in PC with Diva. Well, on Xbox One, you're not going to be level 5. You're going to be level 1 if you haven't played her yet. So, keep that in mind. But I like where they're going with monetization. Basically, any future updates, whether it's heroes or maps, are free to play. Nobody's going to be charged for it. So free updates. And what is interesting is that when they announced that, it was pretty much well received all around. Everybody loved it. And I love it because it puts these big name companies who make these first person shooters with all these DLC packs and all this kind of on the spot. Because Blizzard's going, yeah, we're going to put out the game, and if you want to, and when we make new maps and new heroes, because we're starting with 21, I think that's a good amount. And we have ideas for new heroes, but we don't want to just cram them in just yet. We want to release them over time, maybe. And when we release them, they're free to play. And so, and it's just awesome that they're doing that. I love that they decided to run that way and not charge for expansions or anything like that. It's just great. And the fact that it's probably going to be going down the line of skins and skin packs, again, like Heroes of the Storm or any MOBA out there, where the game will be free to play, but if you want skins, then yeah, you're going to have to pay for it. And this is, again, I love this because I love pointing this out, is that I looked at, like, how much it would be. Alright, so, let's talk about it this way. The Overwatch Origins Edition. It is the edition that's going to be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. On the PC, there is one other version of it, and that's just the regular version. And the regular version is $40. So the base game is $40. With the Overwatch Origins Edition, you get 5 hero skins, which, again, if you value from $2 to $3, we're looking about anywhere from $10 to $15. And this is a $60. This is a $60 version. You get a Tracer hero for Heroes of the Storm, $10. World of Warcraft baby Winston pet, $10. So those 3 items alone, and then there's a few others, we'll get to that in a minute, but those 3 items alone. The skins, we'll put it at the high end, we'll say 15. The hero at 10, and the pet at 10, that's $35. I just paid $25 for a game. Yeah, honestly. And when you factor all that into it, it's $25 for the game. You also get a Hearthstone card back. You get Mercy Wings for Diablo 3, and then StarCraft 2 in-game portraits. So those are also there. The fact that that is $60, all that is $60, is amazing. Because there's a lot of games out there now that, I'll say it, Star Wars Battlefront. My brother and I were rather excited, and I think Sasquatch as well, about Battlefront because it was going to be awesome. You had the guys who were behind Battlefield doing Battlefront, DICE. It was going to be an FPS or third-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. Everybody's excited. What happens? One of the most disappointing video games of all time, and I think part of it was partly due because Disney was rushing it, and I will say that here. But even if they were, the fact that they threw on a, by the way, if you want to play all the stuff that we have, then you have to spend another $50, $60 to get the the season pass, which brings the price of the game from like $60, $70 to $110 to $120, $130. Sorry. I can tell you now, $130 was spent, and I did, on Overwatch Origins Edition, World of Warcraft Legion Collector's Edition, or Digital Deluxe Edition. And I got even more stuff in the Digital Deluxe Edition, like mounts and a pet and other things in the other games, that it's just insane that it's putting these companies on notice saying, hey, you don't need to charge these exuberant amounts of money just for just to get stuff. Here, come play our game. It's cheaper and it's much more entertaining. Yeah. Guess where people are gonna go? The ones where they don't have to take, they don't have to jump right into it. Or they're not having to spend extra money on something. You know, extra money to play this extra level or be locked out of this. Blizzard is saying it's a $40 to $60 game. The $60 version gets you all the cool stuff, cool extra stuff. They're not even. It's not even like turning around and saying, well, you know, the $60 version is going to get you just the base game. No, this is all the extra stuff. Even the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions, you get all the cool extra bonus into it. That's just amazing. You get all the digital goodies. The only one that's the cheapest is the $39.99 version, $40 version. It's the only one on PC. That's it. That's great. It's yeah. I don't see how. And on top of that, you also get you get 5 origin skins and a 6th skin at launch. If you pre-purchase, you get another skin. There are games that pre-purchasing is bad because, oh, you get a free weapon thing. Blizzard has marketed this fantastically because they go, yeah, pre-purchasing isn't the greatest thing. We want you to pre-purchase. That would be great. We want you to buy. So, here's the kicker. If you pre-purchase, you get a skin. There you go. It doesn't matter what version you get a skin. If you get the Origins Edition, you get 5 more skins, plus 5 digital goodies, and the whole thing. If you get the Collector's Edition, you get all that, plus a visual source book, the soundtrack, and Soldier 76 statue. Gaming companies, this is how it's done. This is how a pre-order is taken care of. This is how you do a pre-order. Not the bullshit that you're pulling in others. This is how you do the pre-order. Okay? Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Alright. Let's move away from their business model. Again, I'm loving it, but let's move it on to finally launch day hopes. I don't know when the game is launching. I don't have an estimated guess. I said it in a few minutes ago when I said I think it's going to be any time between March and July. I would imagine, personally, I would not be surprised to see it launch maybe April, with Legion coming in June, right around the same time as the new Warcraft movie. That is what I believe. Or not long after the Warcraft movie. That being said, my hopes, and this is the biggest one, and the only one that I'm going to talk about, servers and gating. I would really hope, really like it if they would gate the experience. I'm hoping they learn from Diablo 3, hoping that they learn from Warcraft Warlords of Draenor launch. I will say Pandaria is probably the easiest one for them. Warlords was choppy for a little while because of a bug, and again, you can't predict bugs. You can't. And they corrected it. They did. While the game was live, they corrected it. So they did, and they fixed everything, and that's all well and good. But please, Blizzard, have plenty of servers to handle. You should know by now that Overwatch is probably the biggest hit you're going to have since Warcraft came out in 2004. This is going to be huge. I doubt they're listening to me. I doubt they're paying attention to this. But I really hope that they go out and pay attention to their past mistakes, quote unquote, and focus on this. Make sure we have enough. Make sure there are plenty of servers, plenty of people on hand. Maybe gate it. say, hey, it's going to launch midnight your region. So not NA, just not just NA, time zone too. Midnight Eastern Standard Time, midnight Pacific Time, midnight Mountain Time, whatever. Just gate it so that there isn't it's easier to have a steady flow than an on surge. I just think of the Carbot animation for when Warlords launch, end of the Warlords launch, where it's like a big countdown, everybody's prepared, and they got the little dude dancing on top of the thing when it goes live, and it's just like a swamp of people trying to get in, and nobody can get in because everybody's trying to get in. Just, I'm hoping Blizzard learns from their past mistakes. I really do. And that's it for this week, guys. We'll be back next week with another edition of the Overwatch Lookout. Until then, as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and favorite below. I am EctoMaster, and I will see you guys next time.